What is up guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my Faith Death Knight Black Steel Greathammer build in Elden Ring. I have been working on this build for a bit, and honestly, I think I came up with the best way you can make this build work. So it's basically with more into holy damage and has a bit of strength into it as well. So it's really good for like a strength and a faith build. So if you're like into like strength and faith builds, this is basically going to be the build for you. I'm going to showcase everything that I have in this build. So basically my talismans and wondrous physics and etc. as always. So if you do enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe to join the Reds Pet today. But let's get straight into it. Alright, so the weapons that I am using is the Black Steel Greathammer, and I'm also using the Erdtree Seal, which honestly is one of the best seals in the game when it comes to using seals, since it does have an S scaling in faith. So that's why I say it's like the best one in the game currently right now. But mainly the Black Steel Greathammer, I honestly enjoy this weapon. This weapon is mainly built around strength and faith. As we see with the attribute scaling, the scaling for it has a B in strength, so yeah, you can definitely use it as a strength weapon too, and it does have a C in faith. Honestly, I have been using this weapon, and just the way you can use it is, well, you can use it as like a counter weapon, a counter guard kind of weapon where you can counter people and get some big damage with the counter itself, or you can just use it like a regular strength weapon. You can put Lion's Claw on it or Savage Lion's Claws if you want to, but I wanted to go with something a bit different, something a bit more natural with this weapon, since I wanted to go for more into like faith itself. So you will mainly want to go a bit more into faith than strength, but I will show you guys little attributes later on in the video. But the requirements for this weapon is you have to have a strength of 25, a dexterity in 11, and you have to have faith at 17 just to hold and wield this weapon. And overall, this hammer is like, it's one of my favorite hammers right now, above Devonia's hammer, which I like Devonia's hammer. Her hammer is another good hammer that I will showcase later on. But overall, like I said, you can change the Ash of War to anything you want to. I went with shared order just because if I wanted to use shared order with it, I'll use it with the Greathammer itself, or I can use Order's Blade, which basically enchants right hand armors with holy damage. I'm fine with using a bit of holy damage with this weapon, and I'm also using Halashibiri for the incantations as well, just to really get more attack, but I will be taking a little bit more damage. So it's plus 25% when it comes to using Halashibiri, but you're also taking 30% damage as well, but it doesn't hurt that much, honestly. It really doesn't. Alright, so I wanted to go with something just a bit kind of scary-ish. Well, I won't say scary, but just something just for myself, honestly. I wanted to go with the skeletal mask, and I also went with the Death Knight armor, and the Knight Cavalry gauntlets, and the Knight Cavalry greaves, just to give it that kind of aesthetic feel. Just a bit into like the kind of faith slash Death Knight in a way. That's just what I wanted to go with, and it looks kind of fire to me. Alright guys, so here are my talismans for just running this build, honestly, to make this build work, in my opinion. Now again, you can always tell me in the comments which kind of talismans you will run for this if you want to make a build like this. So what I decided to go with was two-handed sword talisman to really enhance the two-handed weapon. So basically when I'm two-handing the Greathammer, that's really what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be two-handing the entire time. The only time I will be using one-handed a bit is if I need to buff up, so that's pretty much it. The next talisman I have is Curved Sword Talisman. Now this one I wanted to enhance the guard counter. So the Greathammer has a very unique guard counter, honestly, and I like it. I love it so much. It's like a really good guard counter that you can just use if you want to. If you're like in a very tight situation, or if you're very low and you're trying to just block and just turtle up a bit, you can definitely use that guard counter to get the finishing blow on the AI or your opponent or anyone in PvP, really. So you can definitely use the guard counter if you want to. I just really use the guard counter when I feel like I want to use it. Not all the time, but just when I feel like it. And the third one I have here is Erdtree's Favor. I want to raise the maximum HP and the stamina equip load. I mean, you can change this to anything else if you want to. If you want to go for, I'll say maybe like two-headed turtle talisman. It's not that bad, honestly. I did run this a little bit. Or you can change it to Greatjar Arsenal to raise the maximum equip load if you want to. You can also go for the Sacred Scorpion Charm to really increase the sacred holy damage with this weapon too. So I would highly recommend going for the Scorpion Charm too. But if you want to take the Greatjar Arsenal just to have a better equip load, you can definitely go for that, or the Green Turtle Talisman is really good too. And the last one, as always, take the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. It enormously boosts physical damage negation, since you're going to be fighting a lot of people, and even in the DLC, so you definitely just want to take this talisman. It's a must-have, honestly. Alright, so for the 2 tiers that I have in the Wondrous Physic mix, I have the Lead and Hard tier. This temporarily boosts the poise in the mixed physic, so that's fine. I wanted to just increase my poise, because it's still a strength weapon, so really want to boost the poise as best you can. Now with this one, I was having a bit of a rough time with this one, just trying to think on what I can go with. I decided to just go with the Viridian Hidden tier to eliminate all stamina consumption in the mixed physic. I was just having a very rough time with it because I just don't know which other kind of tiers I can definitely go with. I mean, you can go with, like, say the Holy tier. The only thing is, I mean, you're going to be doing some holy attacks in with the Greathammer. However, you're also going to be doing some physical damage as well. So I didn't know if I needed to go with the Holy Shroud and Cracked here. I mean, you can still go with it. You can definitely go with it if you want to. I was trying to test around. I mean, it's like, I mean, I don't notice that much of a difference sometimes in damage. I mean, it probably does up the damage a little bit, but not much. I'm not too sure, honestly, when it comes to the Holy Shroud Cracked here. I just went safe and just went with the Viridian just to have that kind of like all stamina consumption and whatnot, or eliminates all stamina consumption really. The great rune I always recommend for everyone is Radahn's Great Rune. Raises maximum HP, FP, and stamina, and you can also go for Morgott's Great Rune, which does greatly raise the maximum HP. You can definitely go for this one if you want to raise your HP, but I just say the Radahn's Great Rune is kind of better since it does raise the HP and the FP and the stamina, so highly recommend going for Radahn's. Alright guys, so here is some gameplay showing off what I'm doing here. So I am going with shared order here as the Ash of War. Now you don't have to go with shared order, you can also go with Royal Knight's Resolve, which will boost your damage dramatically, honestly, and I will show a little bit of gameplay with that in a little bit with the Royal Knight Resolve. But I'm over here using Hellish Shabiri, which is really good. I've honestly got this recommendation from friends because I never thought Hellish Shabiri was good, but I was always using Flinger and Strength. But this thing is honestly pretty good. It's nasty. It's really nasty. So I was able to get 1,400 damage right there against this Battle Mage. Now this Battle Mage was a pain in the it really was. He really was, honestly. Like, this dude would not stop spamming every single thing. Like I just cannot take it with this dude. And I end up forgetting to go two-handed with this weapon later on in this little battle here against the Battle Mage, because I just don't like the Battle Mages whatsoever. They're like the one enemies I hate. But as you can see, I'm just trying to, well, get some damage in. It's just hard because of the dude. But what you really will want to do is just really buff up the weapon and buff up yourself overall, just the body buffs, which is Hellish Shabiri and Golden Vow, just so that you can do more damage. But you will be taking a little bit more damage because of Hellish Shabiri, but you should be fine. And right here, this was a mistake. You don't want to go one-handed. I am running the two-handed talisman too, so you want to always go two-handed when using this weapon. You don't want to go one-handed whenever you're trying to play with this weapon or use it in PvE or PvP. But I was able to kill this dude by getting like 3,000 damage right there, bro. Like, this thing is nasty with the damage. Alright, here we go. We got another boss fight right here. So I'm always going to go ahead and get my Golden Vow going, and then I'm gonna get Order's Blade. I'm also get Hellish Shabiri to buff myself up. To buff the weapon itself. Order's Blade is really good just to buff the weapon. I don't have to go for shared order. I can always go for Royal Knight Resolve, and I'm also getting my good old Flask of Wondrous Physic, drinking that too. And I'm gonna just show y'all just how crazy it is. Even without Royal Knight Resolve, I'm doing a lot of damage against this Clean Rod Knight. Now again, this is in New Game Plus 3. This is New Game Plus 3, guys. You gotta remember again, I am still in New Game Plus 3. Now, if you're in trying to make this build in I don't know, New Game Plus 1 and whatnot, you might do some more damage, who knows, but this is New Game Plus 3 for me, and I got around 4,000 damage, just continuing the damage overall. So yeah, really crazy stuff with this weapon. Alright guys, so here I'm going to be showing you guys basically Royal Knight's Resolve with the Greathammer, and I'm also going to show you guys with the Golden Vow and also Hellish Shabiri. This thing, when I was testing this thing and using it with friends too, which my friends, they were honestly helping me out with this too, I can tell y'all that using this, even with the two-handed talisman, just with Royal Knight's Resolve, is honestly crazy damage, man. Does around 4,000 damage even to this giant. And this is New Game Plus 3, y'all. Now if you're doing New Game Plus 1, it might do a lot of damage too. It might do around maybe 4,000 or 2,000 damage, who knows. But I'm doing a lot of damage just using Royalized Resolve with this. And that's why I say like you should go with Royalized Resolve instead of going with like shared order. I mean, because shared order is the same thing as the one enchantment I have. So it's better to just go with Royalized Resolve as the Ash of War and doing 4,000 damage right there. It's just crazy damage. But yeah, that's what I was saying when using Royalized Resolve. Alright, so if you're looking for a 200 build for this build, here is what I recommend for a level 200 build. So for Vigor, always go to 60 Vigor. Really good to go for 60 Vigor to take a lot of damage. Like if you're taking a lot of damage, you won't die instantly. So you'll be able to re-heal yourself as best you can. For Mind, I say 34 Mind. I mean, you will be trying to buff up a little bit, so you just have to use the buff and then just go in swinging as best you can. Well, not just swinging, but just tactically swinging. That's what I say. For endurance, I say 35 endurance will be good. Now you can use the Great Jar Arsenal if you need to, just to increase your maximum equip load. That way you won't be carrying a lot of heavy stuff and whatnot, and you'll be able to take the heavy stuff with you, and you won't have to worry about your stamina and fat rolling really. For strength, I would say 40 strength would be good, because well, this is technically kind of a strength weapon. I would say going a bit more into just faith itself is a bit better than the strength, because you're going to be using a bit of like the counters sometimes, but you'll also be doing a little bit of holy damage within this build too. Dexterity and intelligence you really don't need to worry about. Same goes with arcane. Now with faith, I would highly recommend going to 80 faith if you're going to go ahead and just use the entire holy attacks within this build. Now you can switch this up and go for strength and go 80 and 40 with strength and faith. You can definitely go for that. However, I would say just to go straight for faith, because you're definitely going to be doing a lot of damage with the faith side. So I would say just going for faith is honestly the best bet, but you can definitely go for strength and switch it up if you want to. That is going to do it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed today's video on this build of the Black Steel Greathammer. Please leave your comments down below. What do you guys think I should do to make this build a bit better? What do you think I should switch up to really make this build shine? Let me know in the comments down below. But with that being said, I am TheGamingraptor. Stay well, brought the pack. I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright guys, peace out.